Cough It Up.
Cough It Up, which was dedicated to your brother Charlie.
Yes, Charles.
He was also a comedy writer. And there's actually one of my favorite, this is adult humor, so if you have children in the room, you might want them to leave. But it's The Michelin Man, and he has a female, let me see if I can get it this way, in a bed with him. And who's smoking the cigarette here?
I think they both have a cigarette
smoking,
going.
so the implication is there.
Of course.
And the Michelin Man says, "Why don't you tell him the truth? You blew a tire."
That's why she's late.
It's adult humor. I know, it's adult humor.
Tell him the truth. You're late because you blew a tire. Come on, that's funny.
But the book is like this. You've got a lot of humor in here.
It's very bizarre. Yeah, it's just weird. You know what? I'm inspired by... There was a guy named Jack Douglas, this old brilliant comedy writer from like 1959, and he wrote a book called My Brother Was an Only Child. And it just so was amazing. And then all my friends, I have all these musician friends who put out their own albums. And so I have this, and this is all stuff that's weird and can't really fit in sketch form, and it doesn't really fit in stand-up either. And I got to get the thoughts out of my head, so I just write them all down, and then they turn into that.
So do you submit these to any, like Playboy or anybody like that?
No, I haven't. I want to get in the New Yorker. That's my goal. I have that written down. I always write down my goals.
Of course you write down your goals. How about this one? This one is a pygmy.
A native is in a pot, and then the safari guy's outside of it going, "Not so funny, is it, Sammy?" Because you know, it's usually always the opposite.
The opposite. The opposite.
Here, I'll do my favorite one.
Okay, you do your favorite one.
Where's my favorite one? Okay, I have an obsession with Boog Powell. That's I can't explain. Boog Powell, this old baseball player.
Oh, okay.
I don't. Okay, here's my favorite comic, if you can see it. I don't know. Where am I going? Here?
You're perfect. Just stay right there.
And it's a strip bar, and it's called Through the Eyes of the Strippers, and then everybody in there is just a different guy from $1. Like all the George Washingtons. All the George Washingtons are back here. There's Abe Lincoln up front. There's Andrew Jackson, and then the guy in the wheelchair is Ben Franklin, because there's always like a rich, crippled dude in there who always has chicks around him. So he's Ben Franklin.
Beautiful.
That's my favorite.
Thank you. All right. So you mentioned the other night on stage at the Laugh Stop that you have an obsession with patches, people with patches on their eyes.
People with patches on their eyes, bears.
Bears.
Bears. I love bears.
Bears.
And I think it's from Andy Williams. That's what I finally figured out. Midgets and dwarfs I love.
Yes.
Anybody with a peg leg or a cane or anything, I'm always intrigued by. So yeah, no, I have these weird
fetishes.
I don't know if they're fun. They don't please me, you know, sexually or anything. But I do. I'm doing a series of paintings in my New York. I paint New York, and it's all women with patches.
Fascinating.
And it's like nude women wearing patches.
And your wife thinks what of this?
She doesn't. She's used to it. She's used to everything I do. She just shakes her head.
And moves on.
Yeah.
Moves on.
She's smart. It's nothing.
Okay, let's see. Maybe my research is sad on this one, too. I also read that you produced a movie.
I did. Produced a movie?
I just read this at the Laugh Stop about you. You wrote and directed and produced a movie.
No, but those were short films for Saturday Night Live, Bear City. I thought you were talking a feature. No, but I just, every once in a while I'll punch up a script on movies.
Okay.
But I never did Cheaper by the Dozen. But no, I produced, I wrote, directed, paid for. Over the summer I made these films called Bear City, and it's this, the premise is a meteor hits outside this town and the whole town's covered by a cloud and all the humans leave and then bears evolve in 2 weeks.
Okay.
And they just live like humans. And so like the one, the first one was these two, and it's all about, if you want to get, it's very surreal, but it's very funny. It's very bizarre.
And this is going to run in
They run on Saturday Night Live. I've shot 15. They've shown 5 so far. And the best one was when Ashley Simpson got caught lip syncing.
Yeah.
They stopped the song, and we were like 3 minutes short on the show.
Right.
So I got 2 films on that show.
Oh, nice.
So it was like heaven.
Slick.
All my friends called me like, "Hey, you did that on purpose, right?" I go, "I wish." But it's just bears that they don't talk, but you can tell everything that's going on. Like there's one where a guy goes, it's called Buying a Pack of Smokes, and the bear gets out of his SUV or whatever and clinks and goes in, and then behind the counter there's a panda bear, and he keeps telling her what he wants, but she doesn't understand him, so it just says grr, grr, no, grr, grr. And so it's very surreal, but it's very funny.
Very surreal. So, Tishon, point of the show tonight is to hear about the development of your career and also to give the viewer some tips, because people, the opening segment there with Sugarfoot, people actually have that misconception that you're going to come out, be the stand-up comedian, make money like Jerry Seinfeld.
I know, I thought that too. I thought I was going to have a fan club after a year or something. I'm a bonehead. You'd think that. You have to dream.
You dream.
You dream.
But you landed a pretty nice life.
No, I did.
Cool
I
life.
did. You know what? I think a lot of it is goal setting. I found an old list of goals, and in 1984 I wrote, I want to write on Saturday Night Live.
And that 10 years later, 12, 15 years later, somewhere around there?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Very
it's
cool.
crazy how many things I've written down that came true.
So
a lot of them are simple. It's riding in a helicopter, but I did it.
So your tip here tonight.
I would say one thing is goal setting. I would do goal setting. I would do role modeling. I would get people, like my books are based on this guy I love, Jack Douglas, or even Steve Martin with Cruel Shoes. So I think role modeling is really good, where you pick someone who, whatever their career is, and it's very unique or whatever, and that's what I would like to be like. I would say that is good. And then work out on stage as much as you can.
Yeah. Is the sky the limit?
I think it is.
I mean, I think you've proven it.
No, it really is. I'm a
Yeah.
Huckleberry from Pasadena, and I write on the pinnacle of comedy, in my opinion,
pinnacle.
of television.
Yeah. And you're doing films.
I'm doing
paint,
films.
You have 3 books out.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Isn't it awesome?
It is. It's pretty cool.
It's a pretty good life
It
when you're
is.
Tishon Shannon.
No, it is. The gods are kind.
The gods are kind to you, but you've got talent to back it up. You didn't
Yeah,
just
I
land
work
it.
hard, but I'm
Yeah.
blessed. So
What
yeah.
is your work week like with Saturday Night Live?
Monday you come in and you meet the host and you pitch them ideas, but usually they're fake ideas. It's always like you don't have an idea by then because you've only had one day off.
Keep
So it's
talking. I like the sound of
it's
that.
like, yeah, you're a waiter, but you're way too into it. I'll explain it later. Or the other famous pitch that everyone does is, it's a date scene in a restaurant. Something funny happens. I'll tell you about it. And then Tuesday, the host comes around your office and you talk to them and tell them what you're doing and if they want to do something. And then you write all night Tuesday night. We're there till 6 a.m. And then Wednesday we read 40 to 45 sketches, and they pick 12 from those.
On Wednesday.
On Wednesday. And then we rewrite them Thursday. Friday we block them. Saturday there's a dress rehearsal at 8 o'clock, which a live audience is there. And the show is like a half hour longer. And then stuff gets cut after that, and then there's a show at 11:30.
On Saturday night?
Or 10:30 here. Yeah, no, it's
That's
pretty cool.
a crazy schedule. So are you on hiatus right now?
I'm
or-
on. Yeah, we're off for 2 weeks. It's when you work really hard, but when you're off, it's very relaxing.
And then are you doing stand-up in other cities besides Houston right now?
No, not really. My lady's in L.A., so I keep going back and forth.
So your main cities are New York, Houston, and L.A., and that's
Yeah.
kind of where you work the market?
Yeah.
Cool. I can't thank you enough. Everybody was so excited to know that you were going to be here because
Yay,
you
thank
have
you.
an
I'm sorry I was
awesome
late.
career.
Thank
You
you.
have an awesome career. and
Thank you.
It means a lot for people to see people like you who have made it out of the opportunities that, abound for us if you'll grab them and seize them.
Yeah,
and
if
make
they're
it happen.
there,
So we have a few more minutes worth of your clip from the other night. We all know that you need to take off
I
as
do.
you're headlining.
I'm headlining.
At the Laugh Stop, who I want to thank for letting us come in and shoot this footage this week. And then we're going to talk to Danny Martinez.
My man, he started, first road trip I went on with him, he helped me so much. You got to listen to people. He was there. I mean, it's like voices, people that have done it already. You can learn so much from other, I also think a lot of my writing and funniness is because I have older brothers and sisters, and I learned so much more through them. It's just, I just rip off people older than you. That's
Rip
all
them
I can
off.
tell you.
Well, let's watch Tishon, but don't rip off Tishon's work. Let's watch him again from the Laugh Stop a couple nights ago.
So I travel a lot. I like to travel. That's what I like to do. And there's great things about it. Worst thing about leaving Texas, I'll tell you this real quick. Worst thing about leaving Texas, once you leave the Texas border, queso no longer exists. No one's ever fucking heard of queso outside of Texas. You understand if you go east, because they're like fucking eating raccoons over there, right? But the rest of the country never heard of queso. What? Queso? Chili con queso? Well, no, melted cheese. I've never heard of melted cheese.